Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's the SCB Steelers Podcast presented by Deck Roofing Incorporated of South Florida. We are very, very pleased to be part of the ever-expanding Variety Sports Network. And, of course, the show originates from the Bradshaw Bourbon Studio. Thank you to everyone who's with us tonight. It is the middle of the off-season. It's clear that you people do not have anything in your lives going on, and the fact that you're here is truly amazing. I'm kidding, of course. Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for everybody that listens at their own leisure or watches. You'll notice we have 5 screens up tonight. Very, very glad to have a great friend of our website, great friend of the show, great friend, period. He is a long time Steelers season ticket holder, and I know he's got some thoughts on where the Steelers have gone, what they're doing. And Craig, are you there?
I am here.
We lost your visual.
I don't know where that went. I don't know how that happened. I don't know.
I mean, there's no way you could have had that. Now I lost him.
Oh well, we're all back.
Yeah, we're here.
Scarps is here. Welcome back, Scarps.
Scarp's timing is exquisite. Did you notice he came on like literally when I hit the button for the music to play? I mean, it's like he is over my shoulder watching or something.
Intuition is a hell of a thing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I think we got Craig back.
There we go.
There he is. Outstanding.
Not sure what happened.
Hey, anyway, welcome back. Steelers are in the midst of OTAs. We'll talk a little bit about that, some of the personnel stuff, Cam Heyward, Naji Harris, the quarterbacks. I think we'll even probably have some time for Antonio Brown. I mean, how could we not comment on that? And all kinds of wonderful things, including the draft now coming to Pittsburgh in 2026. I can't wait to hear our locals go on about that. That's going to be great. Craig, I want to give you the first shot here because, being a longtime season ticket holder and you're also a guy that you don't just go to games at Acrisure. You've been to many stadiums around the league.
Right.
What is something that you would like to see the Steelers do differently to make Acrisure, I guess, better, for lack of a better term?
Wow. So, I mean, there's a lot of things they can do, making the customer experience better. Technology being one of the things that I think they could really improve upon. I know I've been to stadiums that for things like individual seat chargers for your phone.
Yeah.
A lot of I bring my kids to the game and it never fails by halftime. Her phone is dead because she's either making content or taking videos or pictures. And I always have to give her and I always pack 2 or 3 portable chargers because I know that she's going to burn her phone out. But, if there was, something like, I mean, they could easily put little adapters into these seats just to make something like, it's a convenient thing that people really get enjoyment. Like they would love that. Oh, I could charge right in my seat. I don't have to go out into the, the club section has like a tower where you could charge your phone, but who wants to leave their phone?
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody.
So, and in the past, the Heinz Wi-Fi has been sketchy at best.
It's awful.
So you can't even connect to it sometimes. And then your phone, if you're using it, it drains, like that, like Dracula was sucking blood out of you.
Right.
So, I think they could use technology.
Yeah.
A lot of these stadiums have little, fantasy football boards that you could like track your fantasy teams on if they want. Now, some people don't like that. They're like, no, you should be paying attention to the game, not
Ben
tracking.
doesn't like it.
Yeah,
You
Ben
could
is
say it.
not a fantasy guy. So
You could say it, Craig.
Right.
Ben doesn't like it.
Right. But, fantasy, like it or hate it, is very popular. And people are checking their phones. I'll be sitting next to people being like, oh,
Yep.
John Smith just scored. Let me check my, phones. And they're checking their scores, whether, we like it or not. It's happening.
They do, correct me if I'm wrong, but on one of the boards, I seem to recall they do run like a scroll sometimes, don't they?
On the big board, sometimes they put like leaders for the day, passing leaders, rushing leaders, receiving leaders, and stuff like that.
Right.
So, they can always do stuff with the concessions. I know the bathrooms have always been a point of contention with a lot of people.
Sure.
Well,
But
they're not as bad as they were at Three Rivers. Remember that?
Three Rivers was
The Three Rivers bathrooms,
bad.
man. Oh my God.
That's a running theme on this show.
Anything could be a toilet, a sink, a corner.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
The
Anything
wall,
was
whatever.
The wall.
If there was an
The
open
middle-
space, somebody was standing in it taking a leak.
The floor drain in the middle of the floor.
Yep.
I think that was me
Absolutely.
during the '94 championship game after they blew it.
The floor drain was absolutely fair game, but damn, those bathrooms were so gross.
Oh,
They
they
were.
were.
They were.
They violated so many environmental health issues. Oh man. Hey, look, what do you think of where the team is headed right now, Craig? I know you've had a very love-hate relationship with Mike Tomlin in recent years. Ben is obviously long gone. We've gone through Kenny. We've got two interesting guys now. How do you feel, man?
I feel kind of like, I don't know how old you guys are, but I feel like the Ewing Knicks when they were always trying to get past Jordan and they never could. I kind of feel like we could never get through Brady, and now Mahomes is here. So the AFC is going to be such a minefield, and it's so hard to get through for the next 10 years with all these great quarterbacks, all these good coaches, and these teams. The NFC is a different story, but the AFC, you could say, 7 out of the best 10 or 8 out of the best 10 quarterbacks are in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have to manipulate your way through all of those every season. And not to mention that they're probably in the toughest division in the NFL. So
Agreed.
I think the team will be better. I just don't know in relation to their competition if their record will recognize them being better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
They get 10 wins this year. I think 10 wins might be a really good record considering their back 8 games are, going through the gauntlet of really difficult teams.
Yeah.
Craig said that much more eloquently than I did last week.
That's what I
basically
said last week.
Yeah, we basically said something similar, which was that we thought they would be a more interesting and exciting on-field product, but the overall results might not be tangibly different than the last few years, but they'll score more points.
I think they'll win more games in the first half of the season than they do in the second, and that the torches and pitchforks will come out in the latter half of the year.
I think
for Tomlin, and it's going to be what it's going to be. The last half of the season, if they go 4-4, they're doing pretty well.
They don't go 6-2 or 7-3 right out of the jump.
Right?
They're in trouble.
They're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Scarpino, it's been a while since we've seen you, my friend. And I'm just going to jump right to this because I know we all have different opinions on this, but
Ryan's wrong.
Here we go. Scarps, Cam Heyward is continuing to hold out of the OTAs. And you and I kind of were on the same page here. We think as a captain, I know you've got some contract issues, but you are still under contract. I think you should be there. I'm not saying you got to participate in everything. Yeah. Where do you fall on it?
And I hate even, I'm not speaking ill of him.
No,
but I hate to even do it. But I don't think anybody is above criticism. And Cam has been a team captain for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
They have a very young team. And he is the last sort of connection between this team and the guys that actually won something, because he has never won anything. And I'm not being rude by saying that. I just
That's true.
No, yeah, very true.
We talk about Kenny Pickett, his everybody that came to his defense was, well, he was, 7-1 as a starter. Well, our quarterback wins and loss a team stat. Yes, they are. And as our playoff wins. And Cam has only been part of one playoff win as a Steeler. Chris Boswell is more responsible for playoff success than Cam Heyward. He had 6 field goals in that Kansas City Chiefs game at KC. The last time a postseason, the Steelers won a playoff game. Imagine that. I think Cam should be there. I'm not saying he has to participate,
Right.
work out, do anything strenuous. But I think he should be there to set an example. And I don't really understand if he has a beef or what his beef is with his contract, because the dude has made a lot of money throughout his career. I'm pretty sure he's in the top 5 Steelers all time in career earnings.
Not that high yet, no, but he's up there.
No,
He's got to be closing in, isn't he?
not
He's
top
over
5.
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. Okay, fine. Well, top 10 isn't bad.
Yeah.
He's
made a lot of money for this.
Yeah.
He's made in excess of $50 million.
No, and
already.
I would also say this too, and I'm just, he knows better than to do that bullshit on Twitter that he did this week. He does. He knows better. I worked with the dude. I'm stunned that he has gotten to that.
Specifically?
You're talking about the Mark Madden stuff and the Jerry Black stuff.
It wasn't even.
What's your objection?
So there's a couple things to it. Is that, and I've said this on the show before, that Jerry Dulac was told something and he reported it. It wasn't his opinion. It wasn't a hot take. And if you knew who Jerry Dulac's sources were, you'd shit yourself. So if I'm being serious,
I got an idea.
I know
about you.
So if somebody tells Jerry, who who might be the second, has the second after his name, and says this, and Jerry reports it. Is Jerry wrong if the information isn't accurate? No. Is the person that told him maybe a little bit pissed off that Cam Heyward is at OTAs? Maybe.
Exactly.
So, and I have no fault with Cam refuting it, but I have a problem with how he did it, because he has become this media and social media dude when he never used to be that way.
What objection do you have to what he did? That's what I'm asking.
Because the Cam that I know would have come to me or somebody else on the staff and been like, this is bullshit. I want to talk to this guy. Not on Twitter or X or whatever. I want to talk to this guy because I think it's wrong.
Your objection is that he made it public on social media?
Yeah, he went about it differently, and he knows better. And he's a guy that's setting himself up for a media career after football.
No question.
And he doesn't understand how it works. And he also and then he wants to fight with Mark Madden, who he didn't really fight with him, but Cam used to go on the Mark Madden show a lot, and they have a good relationship. But that's one dude you do not want to piss off, because he will, whether it's a shtick or not, like Mark will not stop.
Plus, he's got the minions that will follow what he does.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
I would pick him up and drop him on his head. I know he weighs 300 pounds. I'd still pick him up and drop him on his head. And no, I'm not kidding. And there's a lot of
you have long
I
admired
fucking
this man.
despise that person. If I ever see him in person, it'll be a cheap shot, but he's getting one.
So long-winded response. I don't know.
Are you, Scarps, are you looking at that from your PR guy standpoint, or are you looking at that from just being a fan, the way that he responds?
No, I always do. I mean, I look at it.
Right.
I used to only look at it through the PR lens, but now I look
Gotcha.
at it from both. And not only that, but I have I worked with Cam for years.
Mhm.
I thought that, like, just what you thought, like, somebody wouldn't do the Twitter bullshit, they do it. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like, it's just
right.
like, you don't like, and I will say is like, you don't think Troy Polamalu wasn't ever pissed off about somebody that wrote something, whether that
Mhm.
was later in his career when he maybe wasn't the best. And, like, do you think, like, Troy's first reaction was to go on Twitter and be like, I don't like what you wrote? Like, like
Oh man, that was bad.
There we go.
sorry.
But it's a good Troy impression. It is.
It's tremendous.
But my point being is that, like this is the, like, just what he thought, like, okay, Cam is old school, he's not going to do this. Cam was taught by, Aaron Smith, Casey Hampton, Brett Kiesel, and they never did any of this shit. And then literally fires it off like, don't slander my name. And it's just like, what? Like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? Whatever. Anyway, I love Cam, all-time Steeler.
Yeah.
I understand his intentions, but, like, I wish he would be there.
So Ben, you are on the other side of the fence on this.
Yeah, I have a different point of view. Okay, first, OTAs are voluntary. Okay. Second, this dude is trying to negotiate another contract. He doesn't really have any leverage. The only thing he can do at this point is withhold his services and make them think about it. That is the only thing he can do at this point, and his agent is telling him that.
Sure.
So he's not showing up for voluntary workouts. And what I said to you guys was, wake me up when he misses something that's mandatory. And that's how I feel about it. I'm not worrying about it.
When somebody remind me, when Watt was going through this, he was at the practices, but he wasn't playing, right?
Correct.
He was there, though, right?
No.
They called it a soft holdout or something.
He was there, but he didn't do any team drills. He did individual drills.
But he was there, still talking to, like, the team.
He was there, and he was.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there was never a question that Watt's deal was going to get done, right? Okay, it was just a question of what they were going to pay. It was never a question of is getting.
Is there a question if Cam's deal is going to get done?
Yes,
is there a question?
Absolutely,
really,
absolutely, yes, absolutely. Cam is going to make $16 million this year, which, honestly, if I'm being honest, that in itself, in and of itself, is a gift. He's not that effective anymore. He's not. And so you have a lot of fans that are going, this guy's got a $22 million cap hit, and they don't really understand the cap, so they think he's making $22 million this year, and he's not worth that. Yeah, I get it. But what he's really making is 16. But, yeah, he's not worth that yet anymore either. So it's like, okay, this being the case, dude, holding out is kind of a bad look. By the same token, I get it. Mm-hmm. What Ian and I discussed last week is give him a new deal with a $16 million signing bonus. So he's got that money. He's got a couple of years on the end of it for optics. For optics, but all it does is give the team 2 team options. So they might have to go back to him next year and go, hey, Cam, we'd really prefer, like they did with Troy, we'd really prefer that you went ahead and retired so we don't have to cut you. Could you do us a solid here? Because,
I was just going to say that basically, like Ben said, it gives them an option that they could. Craig's absolutely right. You'd prorate the 16 out over a few years, and then you have the option to basically cut him or let him retire at a much lower salary cap hit than you would take this year, or if you had to negotiate a brand new deal next year if he was a free agent.
Ben?
But I think something does get done. They'll get something done. In my head, I've always kind of had like a 3-year deal with, like we said last week, 16 to 20 million signing
16
bonus.
million, just 16
somewhere
flat.
around there.
16 plus another, whatever the vet minimum is now. I think it's 1.3 for a 10-year vet. So he'd make 17 million this year. So he'd get a little bit of a bump. Yeah. And then, you give him whatever over the course of the next 2 years. But essentially, those are team options. Those 2 years are team options. At any point, they can just cut him because his guaranteed money's paid out.
But if they wanted to lower his cap hit, why didn't they already do it?
Because he's in the last year of his contract.
He's in the last year of his deal. You can't
prorate anything out with no years remaining after this year.
Right.
No, but
These
I'm saying
guys
why
don't
didn't
know shit,
why
do
didn't
they, Ian?
Okay. Fucking congratulations, the imaginary salary cap. But I guess I'm fucking
not
coming
real.
I'm coming in hot. No, but I just I don't know.
Well, look, I guess to me it comes down to how much of this was about him playing hurt last year and how much did it affect him. Because the year before, 2022,
it's about his 35
he put up some good numbers.
35 going to be 36, and you don't look at a guy, you don't project based upon a 34-year-old season and go, hey, you know what? Yeah, but when this dude was 34, he did this. I mean, he's going to, and I get in Cam's head, he's like, fuck it, I'm healthy. I'm going to kick ass this year.
And that's what I'm getting. Yes.
But those soft tissue injuries, as we all fucking know, mount up. And they're difficult to get past. It kind of is what it is, man. It sucks. It really fucking sucks. Getting old.
Yeah, and the way he plays, he's more apt to get re-injured.
Yeah.
He's running down running backs, and he's just not a pass rusher kind of guy. So he's more apt.
He's an okay pass rusher. He's
okay, but he's not. He's not an edge guy that's coming after the quarterback.
He's relentless.
But that's
his
my point.
style.
He's more apt to
exactly.
Because of the
He's
way
more
he
apt to
plays.
because of the way he plays. You're exactly right. He is relentless, and he's more apt to be injured because of it. And when you tack age on top of that, and the fact that he's got all these little injuries that he hasn't been able really to get past, or he wasn't last season. Now it's kind of like you look at this from the Steelers standpoint, and they go, "We've seen this movie before, lots of times."
Yeah.
Do we really want to invest in this? So what you do is you give him the deal we talked about, you let him save face, and then you move on.
So I think they really need to put him on a pitch count too, and just try and use him in the most effective situations. Like, you can't have Cam Heyward at his age playing 60 snaps a game. That's just, you got to spread those snaps out a little bit more.
But he thinks he can. That's the other thing too. It's a business. You got to protect it. And I even think about this all the time. How many realistically, and I want you to be honest with me right now.
Oh, that hardly ever happens on this show.
Never happens.
No, because
no honesty on this program.
No. Do not be Yinzer Nation right now when I ask you this question. Realistically, how many more years of TJ Watt do you think you're going to get?
That's a good
now, when you
question.
say how many more years, you're talking how many more years high quality TJ?
Hall of Fame years, like he's been playing. I think you get maybe this year, next year, and the third year after that is I think you're going to start to see a little decline.
Okay, do you I guess my point is, do you expect to see TJ have a similar career trajectory as his brother? Because JJ eventually
I don't, and here's why.
Okay.
Because JJ is his brother and can say to him, "Look, dude, this is where I fucked up. Okay, learn from my mistakes. I came back too early this time and this time because I was trying to make people happy. So don't do that. Play when you can play. Do what you can do. Take care of your body. These are the mistakes I've already made. Don't make them." So he can be the benefactor of that, which is to his benefit. His brother's already done it.
So he's going to listen to his brother instead of the Steelers.
I think so.
It's fair.
Let's put it this
I'm just
way.
asking. I'm not being a dick.
Remember that day he tore his pec?
Yeah.
The Steelers weren't convinced on the sideline that he tore his pec.
Shit, he said it coming off.
He said, I tore my pec.
Him. Yeah.
And they were like, no. We don't think you have. They weren't convinced initially.
Yeah. Craig, what did you want to say?
I was going to say, what makes you think that he would, listen to the Steelers over his brother when it comes to self-preservation?
Garps looks dried out. He does, doesn't he?
I let you, John, over here. John saying I'm in the drunk tank. I appreciate you, John.
Oh, by the way, Scarps, just real quick, that happens to be Steelers Freak.
Oh, we got a new. Do we have an alias?
No, that's Steelers
Him.
Freak. He showed up with his real name
removed.
last week, and none of us picked up on it for quite a while, and then he revealed
No,
himself.
about 5 minutes.
Well,
I love it. I love
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Edborg sounds like an amazing tennis player.
Right?
Stefan.
Yeah.
Stefan Edberg.
Bjorn.
The former Penguins goalie that took us by storm, Johan Hedberg.
The Moose.
Yes. I don't know. I just posed Craig. And nice to meet you finally.
Yes.
I posed the question because there's blood and family, but then there's legacy. Do you think maybe TJ wants to be the best brother of the group? I mean, he's already got Derek beat, but Derek Watt. I know Derek Watt is out there watching right now, and I just want you to know that I did not mean anything by it. No, but I just, okay.
But is the fact
JJ Watt
different positions though? Does that weigh into this a little bit?
Plus, well, they're built differently too. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, TJ's a lot more svelte. I mean, JJ was a monster. I mean, and he had an engine like Cam Heyward, but he was built. He had another 40 pounds on that frame at least.
Yeah,
maybe 50. So I mean, running around like that. I mean, it's TJ's a lot more flighty. So I would think he's, he has had some freak injuries though.
Yeah.
So I think you got maybe 2 years, maybe 3 if you're lucky.
I like the 3 years.
I think you get 3 years, and that's going to be
that's a good number.
The balance of it.
Yeah, I agree with Craig. TJ will turn. TJ will
also
turn
think he's
30 in October. So this is his age 30 season. So I think by 32, he probably starts to slow down a little bit. So if this is his age 30 season, then 2 more solid years, and then we'll see for his age 32 year.
And you feel like it's been wasted.
He's going to get the gigantic contract though next year. That highest paid defender again. That's coming. 100% it's coming. And some of these teams are just handing out deals where I'm like, are you fucking kidding me for that guy?
The only way, Ben, that he doesn't is if he had a severe drop off without any kind of
100% or some kind of like ridiculous catastrophic injury, but otherwise it 100% is happening.
Right. Let me move on to a different topic. The city of Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh Steelers have been awarded the 2026 NFL draft. And I know that Ian and Scarps are thrilled about this because they know how well traffic flows in and out of the city. So, Ian, I'm going to give you first dibs at this.
Oh, boy.
Are you excited about this?
I am thrilled because I've always wanted to go to the draft. I think it would be super fun to just go and drink with people and boo everybody's picks. And I just think it would be a damn good time. And
where the fuck are they going to put it?
We talked about this. I don't know. Oh my goodness. All right. I got to think they'll probably put the hub around stage AE. Down next to the stadium, use those parking lots.
Stage AE seats 2,500 people.
Yeah, I was going to stage AE is.
Well, I'm saying
to put on a concert. That's about it.
in that area, not at Stage AE, but like maybe they'll use Stage AE as like the green room and have like the big dome thing built in those parking lots, because those parking lots are really the only kind of open flat area down there where you could construct something, unless they actually did it inside the stadium.
I was gonna say, can't they use the stadium? Like,
they
Point
could.
Park is not the Point Park idea has been batted around on Twitter. Point Park is way too small.
Point
way
State
too small.
Park, not Point Park. Point State Park.
Yeah. Whatever. It's too
the
goddamn
place
small.
with the fountain, for God's sake.
Point State
too
Park would be
fucking
really
small.
cool, but it's too small.
It would be cool, but there's no way you couldn't even get 10,000 people in there.
To Craig's point, Heinz Field, whatever it is, Acrisure fucking stadium now.
I call it Heinz. I will always call it Heinz.
Yeah.
It's
would have
Heinz
been
Field at Acrisure now.
It would have been awesome for the draft before they built that addition of seats in front of the scoreboard.
Right.
With those new
where they
seats,
close the open end.
Yeah, you can't like see the plaza area anymore. Craig, you were probably at the game. Do you remember when Taylor Swift performed the one year? She performed on that plaza area.
Yes.
At halftime. And they had a couple other bands perform in that plaza at halftime way back in the day.
Yes.
But now that where they built those extra seats, it's closed off, so you really can't use it. So I think those parking lots, like the gold lots, are really your best bet for like building something. But then where are people going to park? How are people going to get there? Like, it is not a good scenario. You're I'll say good. This is relative good, but where the parking garages are downtown is a relatively easy walk over to the north side. Like, it's not bad.
Yes, it is.
But it's
I do it
Pittsburgh in
frequently.
April, so you never fucking know what the weather's going to be like. And the weather could be, 29 degrees and snowing, or it could be 65 degrees and raining.
Beautiful,
Could
right?
be.
Yeah.
You just never know.
No,
Yeah.
Scarps, I know you're not a fan.
No, I'm excited. I'll probably go down. It'll be fun.
Okay.
We should have a Steel City Blitz meetup.
You know why? He's going to go down there? Because he can ride the fucking train, and it doesn't matter what traffic is like.
That's
Well,
right. He can take the train
so-
on from Lebo.
So depending on where you live in the city, you can take the train.
Yeah,
but you can
South
take
Hills.
the T. You could take the T, but it's going to be split between Acrisure Stadium and Point State Park. And that's pretty cool, except that there is the Allegheny River that flows into the Ohio River that separates the two. And I know Steelers Twitter told me that it's okay. They have 2 years to figure it out. I don't know how many sandbags it's going to take to fill up that river and make so people can walk across it. But you can't. So I love my city. I was born and raised here. I fucking love this place. It is so unique. It's got a big city feel, but it's small.
Mm-hmm.
Contrary to what people believe, like Pittsburghers are nice and they look out for one another.
Pittsburghers are cool.
And I think this is a really, really cool thing. Don't get me wrong, but I really just don't know how they're gonna
schematics are gonna work.
They're gonna,
I mean,
I don't know how.
they could probably fit all those people in Market Square, right? I mean, what's the big deal?
Yeah, Market Square.
They'll have a trolley take them around.
Fucking Market Square. Right, Market Square is smaller than Antonio Brown's bank account right now. So I do think, again, I think it's a cool concept, but like, it is just so, like, this place shuts down when there's a thunderstorm. I really don't understand how they're going to be able to do this.
Well,
like if you like,
Well, the
if
roads are so good there that I think it won't be any problem at all.
yeah, I've already requested to work remote that week from work, even though it's 2 years in advance, because there's no way I'm going to be able to get in and out of the city. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
my thing is, okay, let's just say hypothetically that 700,000 people, like in Detroit,
okay, that's
show
where I
up
was
to
going to
this
go
fucking
next.
thing. Where are they going to put them? The thing. It isn't just about the weather.
Not enough
every
hotels. Forget about
year.
it.
Yeah, there aren't enough hotels. Exactly. This is my point. That it isn't just about the Pittsburgh not having the weather for a Super Bowl. It's also the fact that they don't have enough hotels. They can't host enough people.
It's
in
a
that
radius.
city to do. Where? So you're gonna stay out in fucking Moon?
No, listen, and I'm not being a dick I'm not saying this to flex. I'm saying that I used to have to do this when I worked there, and
know.
literally, like, I think it's a 75-mile radius.
It's no big deal. Yeah, you can stay out in Beaver County. It's fine.
You literally,
There's
you
no
could,
hotels in Beaver County.
you could stay. You
Probably
can.
some campgrounds.
Yeah, there are campgrounds. That's
The
true.
75-mile radius
Raccoon Creek State Park.
is like Ian. You know where I'm at. The
Yeah.
75-mile radius
That
is
gets
like
you almost to Meadville.
just
So,
yes,
yeah.
it's past Grove City, but it's a little bit. I think it's a little bit lower than
what you're
Meadville.
saying is people can stay
You
in
don't go-
Harrisburg.
that's-
And go
no,
ahead.
that's
and they-
210 miles.
3
Don't be
hours,
silly.
yeah.
75
I'm just
miles, so
being a
that's
smart ass here.
that's a
but
long way, though.
It is a
I'm
long.
being
Yeah.
a smart
With
ass.
traffic, you're talking what, 2+ hours?
You could stay in Wheeling.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna say
think-
Wheeling would be in that. Yeah,
Wheeling,
Wheeling,
Morgantown,
Greensburg.
would probably be in. Morgantown would always be in
Morgantown?
that.
maybe.
It'd be
Let me
cool.
get out the
That's a
Let me
hell
get
of a
out the,
drive,
uh,
man. Fuck
let me
that.
get at the abacus here and
I want to go to Ben's comment about the people, and Aaron was in Detroit. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron, in the chat, but I think you were there day 2. Detroit rolled in about 700,000 people. Okay, the thing with Pittsburgh, at least in my opinion, is you've got fan bases from Buffalo that can make that drive. Obviously, from Cleveland. You could argue Philadelphia. You could argue Washington, D.C., Baltimore, even Indy. I mean, this could be an absolute madhouse if enough
will
people
be an absolute madhouse.
want to come in. And Detroit,
Philly,
Detroit
you
had
let
some.
Philly out. The Philly fans are coming. You know that.
Yes, I mean, I just think I don't know
So
how it's
will
all
the
going to work.
Jersey. The Jersey people will be there too. New York, New Jersey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a 5-hour ride. I mean, it's not that hard. It's a 40-minute flight.
Right.
40-minute flight. Yeah, I'd be there.
For me to
if I
fly to
was in
Pittsburgh,
Jersey.
it's about 40 to 45 minutes. Yeah.
hey, Toronto's 6 hours. You're gonna get. I'm serious. You're gonna.
I
You're
get
gonna
it.
get. You're gonna get Canadian.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you guys. I think it's a great thing. I hope
I don't think they'll fuck it up. I think they'll figure it out.
they'll
Like,
do
there
a
was-
great job.
At one
There's-
time, there was, and I don't know how they would get them there, but there was a proposal that to combat the whole hotel thing, they would just bring in cruise ships and park them on the river on the Ohio, and they'd put people up there. So I think they'll
Maybe.
figure a way out
maybe.
of this thing. That was when they were
Yeah.
trying to get the Super Bowl. Yeah, imagine that game in
Wow.
Pittsburgh in February. Hey, in the elements. Yeah.
I will say the other thing too, just kind of thinking about it, right? That you have kind of the main stage where like the draft takes place, but
Right.
you also have the supplemental stuff. Like I know Aaron, took his kid through like the NFL experience thing
Right.
and all the other stuff. So they could spread that out a little bit, that you could have like the NFL experience stuff over at Point State Park, that like that's part of the draft, but it's not like where the picks are happening, right? That it's, you're going to have to spread things
And
out
that-
a
Maybe
little
they
bit
could send the
more.
Pirates on a road trip and use PNC.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I wouldn't
PNC
be
would be a
opposed.
great venue. I've seen a few
PNC is
concerts
awesome.
there. It would be
Yeah.
a great venue.
I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. Make it a true city event.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do also want to mention that
That was a fun
Antonio,
argument.
Antonio Brown. It's been announced this week that he's
The-
filing for bankruptcy. And
The least difficult thing to predict 10 years ago.
yes, now I said it was sad. Ben, you said it's not sad.
It's not. The guy's a dick. I'm sorry.
Okay.
He did
And-
he went out of his way to burn every bridge he possibly could on his way out of town. He's burned
Absolutely.
people
He's a tragedy. He's a tragedy.
repeatedly.
Yeah, he is, Craig. He's
And-
a tragedy.
Listen, for Antonio Brown, and for a lot of people like him, the very height of socioeconomic accomplishment is being able to be a fucking asshole to whoever you want, which basically means anyone who disagrees with you get to be a prick to them. And he's taken full advantage of that. And so now it's coming back at him, and he's not going to get a lot of sympathy from a lot of people because he's been a prick for so long.
And,
Guy's a
and when
fucking
I-
asshole.
And when I said it's sad, that's what I mean. The all-encompassing part of it. I don't.
I agree with you.
Story. It's a tragic story. I mean,
It
you're
is.
talking about a guy who literally could have been one of the top, I don't know, 5 receivers ever to play. He could have had this city, when they take you in, they love you forever. He could have been an icon.
Yep.
And he could have had people eating out of the palm of his hand for the rest of his life. And he just self-destructed it away.
Yeah. And that's exactly, Craig, what I mean when I say it's sad. I mean, this is a guy,
That's
and
the
I know
teacher in you
people.
talking.
It is the teacher in me, and I know people at Central Michigan University that the kid struggled to read at a 3rd, 4th grade level when he was at Central Michigan University. He struggled to do a lot of things, but he had the ability, obviously, on a football field, and he's not the only guy that's like that. But Ben, to your point, he did. He screwed over a ton of people,
Purposely.
And
Purposely.
yes. And
with
so
the thought in
therefore,
mind that I am fucking this guy over. I don't care.
Not a lot of people through feeling too bad for him. And I get that. I totally do.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons why people have a hard time like feeling bad for him is that it was his continued repeated behavior that he like never sought to improve himself, right? Like if it happens one time that you don't pay somebody for their services, then you're like, they sue you and you're like, all right, I fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm going to make changes to myself and try and like get better from this. But I think it's just that he continues to just be the same person and has never shown any like personal growth. And people are like, you know, all right, he's doing the same dumb shit he did 5-10 years ago. Like, you know, maybe like, okay, 1 time, 2 times. All right. But like, I have a hard time feeling bad for someone who continually does the same thing of like not paying people for their service. Like I'm just using that as an example, right? But it's like when you continually are like, I'm just not going to pay you and you give me services, it's like, all right, well, but other people like are trying to make a living too,
well,
so
and it doesn't help when you have idiot fans like Aaron who hype this guy up because he got a Facebook profile pic. Thanks a lot, Aaron. Way to go. You enabled the guy.
Well, actually, and Mark, that's a good word is enablers, not Aaron. But I think
Aaron's an enabler, absolutely.
Right.
It's
he
the
is
Ohio
an
thing.
When
Most of the people that live in Ohio are assholes, so we understand, Aaron.
Or went to school in Ohio. Yeah, you're right.
Thank God I got my kid out of there.
When you're a professional athlete or anyone in an important position and you surround yourself with people who are just like who are enablers, who are like, oh yeah, everything you're doing is great, you're right, like sometimes it's weird to say this, but like loving a person like as a friend sometimes means being like, you're an asshole, stop doing that shit,
right?
That is like good friendship is sometimes telling someone you're an asshole, you need to stop this. That is being a good friend, even if the person doesn't want to hear it. Sometimes that's what you need to do as like a good friend. So but I feel like when we've talked about this on the show before, that AB surrounded himself with people who were just yes men and enablers to him that were like, oh yeah, everything you're doing is great, you don't need to ever change or do anything better or whatever. So I mean, I agree that it's sad, it's a tragic story, but I feel like also that sometimes a lot of athletes, not just him, wound up surrounding themselves with the wrong people and people that try and take advantage of them for their money because they know they have it and they make bad investments and all this other stuff. So it's a hard financial situation to figure out, especially when high schools, colleges, everything else don't teach you how to balance a checkbook anymore.
No, and that's
but
funny.
The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Everyone knows that, but no one knows how to fucking balance a checkbook.
Well, Craig and I have had that discussion before. That
I consider a lot about it. How
Yep.
financial acumen is just not taught, and it's not mandatory. They, like you said, they'll teach you about the cells in the body, but they can't teach you how to manage debt or how to invest the dollar or how not to charge up your credit cards. And fiscal responsibility just is something you have to learn, unfortunately, on your own. And usually, by the time you've learned it, it's because you've learned a hard lesson by it.
Absolutely. Yep. And that, Damn teachers.
Scarps. Yeah, obviously him and I have history, good and bad, and
I wasn't aware.
well, no, but like I want to
Really?
like
what bad history is that, Scarps?
I've never said anything about him. I am not perfect, and neither is he. I never said anything personal about him nor anybody that I ever worked with there. The thing about him, though, that has always rubbed me the wrong way is that he's never taken accountability for anything that he's ever done. And yeah, it is sad, but he has never once said, yeah, I need help or I fucked this up. Because what he does is every once in a while, he'll be like, yeah, man, I had it really good at the Steelers. And then 2 days later, he'll literally like tweet a racist comment about Art Rooney II. And it's just like where are you like right now? He doesn't
Isn't
get
that
it.
classic?
Pride goeth before the fall, right?
And it's just like, it's just like, because if he came out and just said, hey, listen, yeah, you know what? I need some help. I burned every bridge I've ever had. I was wrong and I'm sorry. Then I can get behind.
I was wrong and I'm sorry is a powerful statement. People
Can
value that.
Then I can get behind. I can get behind that and say, okay, man. Like, listen, man, we're not perfect. Nobody's acting like we're perfect, and it takes a lot for you to admit that you're wrong. But again, it's just this repeated pattern of behavior where every once in a while he'll show some remorse, and then 5 minutes later he'll tweet something about Art Rooney or Caitlin Clark. Like he was like talking about Caitlin Clark the last couple weeks.
Oh, that was
and it's like such inappropriate shit about her. And I'm like, and here's the worst part about Antonio Brown. And I had to deal with this evil on social media is that all these assholes that support him attack the people that even question anything that he does. So, and even to this day, he'll tweet something and people will be like, AB, love you. You're the greatest of all time. It's like, you're just as big as a loser as he is.
Right.
Like, and you're enabling him by liking his CTESPN bullshit. And Mike Webster's kid, remember a couple months ago, Mike Webster's kid was like, yo, AB,
Garrett?
my dad, huh?
Garrett?
Yes, Garrett.
Like legit. The Mike Webster's son.
Yeah, that's his son. Yeah.
Was like, yo, AB, like my dad fucking died of this condition, and you're fucking like you're just acting like it's cool, and you're like trying to monetize off of what happened, and like it's like what are you doing, man? And like there were people in the comments attacking Garrett Webster for even questioning Antonio Brown.
Dude,
and I can't even tell if that's real life or not. Like it's so wild.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about on-field stuff.
No.
Craig,
There we
Craig,
go.
how I
Dad
know. We'll
Dad
get
is
into some
sober.
actual football.
Listen, I want to make
Dad.
one quick point about Antonio Brown, and then let's move on.
All right.
Antonio Brown is still redeemable. He is.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
He is because of his accomplishments as a Steeler. Because of the moments, the immaculate extension. Okay. All right. And a whole host of other things that we will never forget AB doing on the field. Okay. Granted, they're on-field accomplishments, but whatever else. All of those moments gave us this great joy, right? If AB would just do what we were talking about earlier, I'm sorry, I was wrong, and fucking mean it, and not backtrack on it 2 days later, like Scarps was talking about. not backtrack on it, be a fucking dick 2 days later.
I'm sorry.
man.
Freak is just
Steelers,
that was great.
fucking, this guy,
Jody Arias is not redeemable, dude.
Goat.
She killed somebody. That's different.
goat fucking commentator.
Wow.
That's pretty funny, though. That's pretty funny.
Oh,
That's
man.
good, Freak.
AB, it won't happen, in my opinion. He won't do it.
Right.
But
I
he
agree
is
with
redeemable.
what Charlie said here.
If he has the balls to fucking do it.
Yeah.
You need cathartic contrition. I don't know if he
Well,
has.
it isn't. You know what,
That's a great
Craig?
point.
What he needs is to be capable of self-reflection, and that's really fucking hard. And most people can't do it. And AB definitely can't fucking do it. He can't see the forest for the trees right now.
Listen, people.
And maybe he will at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he will at some point.
People want to love their hero. Like they want to
Of
love
course.
him,
Yes.
but
Yes.
they can't. But you just sometimes you just can't. Like until they offer you, people want to forgive. People tend
Yes.
to give second chances and third chances. They want to forgive, but you have to
Yeah.
show remorseful contrition to do that.
And
Yeah.
I'll give you it. And I have to.
Go ahead.
I have to pee after this. Just letting the crowd know. Craig,
Had
you're,
too many
Craig,
White
Craig,
Claws.
confirmed. But Craig, you're absolutely right because I'll give you two recent examples: James Harrison
Oh.
and Le'Veon Bell, and two
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
circumstances. But I mean, what
Not
six,
as
7
extreme,
years,
but
six,
yeah.
7 years ago, everybody hated Debo because he was
Yep.
sleeping in meetings and went to New England
But-
after he got cut. Le'Veon Bell had some issues, but he never fully went to that
Went the bridge,
AB,
right.
never fully went to that AB level, and he was in the facility in the last 6 months. And everybody right away, everybody on socials like, we gotta re-sign this guy. We want a reunion. You're right, Ben. If Antonio Brown ever literally fully accepted
Yes.
his fate and said,
Yes.
"I'm wrong, I want to change," we would absolutely embrace him. But
We
he
bring
will
him
never.
back.
He will never do that.
He won't do it.
Yeah, it's sad.
I agree with
Not
you.
now.
He won't do
Not
it.
now.
No.
But
Yeah.
he is redeemable if he has the balls to do the hard work, which I don't think he does.
And we'll leave it right there. On the field stuff, Craig, did you like the Steelers draft?
I think, how could you not like the Steelers draft? I mean, I think they shored up the trenches, which is where most people thought they needed to work. I think everybody still thinks we have a gap at receiver, which we do.
Mm-hmm.
And slot corner.
Yeah, and slot corner. I don't know. Where we stand with the Cam Sutton deal?
I think
that
that's-
might happen. They're gonna let
Well,
the legal process play itself out,
Right.
and they're keeping in touch with Cam.
The
Okay.
Pat Pete stuff reemerged this week too.
Oh, did I didn't see.
Yeah,
I thought
a
things were
little
quieting
bit.
down.
Some speculation.
What reemerged
Just
this
some-
week? I'm sorry.
Pat Peterson. Patrick
Pat
Peterson.
Pete. Yeah,
Oh,
Pat
Pat
Pete.
Peterson.
If Pat Pete comes back, he's going to play a role as a mentor and play on passing downs only.
Yeah,
The
he's a
dude's-
nickel dime guy now.
Yes.
Done.
He also
Man.
can't run and can't tackle. So what can he do?
But I like the draft overall. I think, it's gonna come down to quarterback play. I firmly believe one of these two quarterbacks will be starting for another team this year.
Whoa.
Really?
Whoa.
I think Fields or Wilson won't be on this team by the end of the year. I think
Wow.
Well,
I
they
think
did move. They did move back the trade deadline, so you could
Yeah,
be right. It's
yeah.
possible.
I think that there's going to be, unfortunately, an injury or something akin to that to a team that's contending. And one of these two quarterbacks is going to be holding a clipboard. And if the Steelers can extract value, I think they will. I don't
Wow.
think it's
I
in
mean,
their
maybe.
I don't think it's in their long-term interest to have both these guys on the team. I just,
Yeah.
if
Well,
you-
I mean, they're both on 1-year deals, Craig. So
right. I think it's easy. I mean, if you think Fields is the guy and he shows you something, then Wilson's expendable. And if you don't think Fields is the guy, then you can give Wilson an extra year if you need to, and try to find another solution. But I don't think both these guys are going to be on the team all year.
Interesting, man. I hadn't even thought about that.
I mean, maybe. Like,
Yeah,
they
especially
did move back
if
to trade deadline. It's possible, but
later trade deadline. See how they. I mean, one would assume if we don't get off to a real good start with that final 8 games we have, then
I foresee more along the lines of okay, not a great example, but Mahomes' rookie year in Kansas City, he was behind Alex Smith.
Yep.
And they knew full well the entire year that was Alex Smith's last year.
Okay.
But they had him start every game. And they had Mahomes watch. And they basically had Smith coaching Mahomes up the entire year.
Now,
And Andy Reid went on record. Sorry?
I was just going to say, are you in a long way around kind of comparing Fields to Mahomes or just the
Fuck
situation?
No.
Good.
Just
Well, you're
situation.
saying the roles are going to be similar.
Okay.
Fields is not, I'm sorry. I've watched a lot of his film. Fields is not as smart as Mahomes. Okay. Fields makes really bad decisions with the ball. His physical ability, unquestioned.
Can't deny it.
The
Can't
dude
deny
is amazing. Like,
I
he's
like him.
accurate. He's got an arm. He can run but he just makes bad decisions with the ball. So what we hope is that sitting behind a Hall of Famer for a year gives him enough knowledge that he starts playing better football because he's making better decisions. Everybody's going to fuck up sometimes. That happens.
Sure.
Everyone does that, right? But you want to see less of it. And I watched 6 games worth of film from Fields last season, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? What the hell were you even thinking there? And there were a lot of those instances. And yes, the guy gets by because he's got amazing ability. Amazing ability.
Plus, I
But-
think the coaching matters, right? I mean,
To an extent. I mean, yes. Like, if you're playing in the NFL, you're going to have really good coaches, no matter where you're at. You're going to have really good coaches, unless you're in Pittsburgh and Matt Canada is your offensive coordinator. But
Yeah.
which I
position
was
coaches,
surprised to hear. I was happy to hear that a lot of the comments from the players that the offense is like, really different and, attention to detail. And it's good. They really like what's happening. as a concept.
the thing they're doing differently, and they have ever since Canada left, is they're talking to all these guys and saying, oh, listen, we want to make all of you aware of where you're supposed to be and why. So it's the why. And the why is what Canada never explained. He just went, I want you to do this, this, and this. And they were like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
So I want to say this because Matt Canada was terrible. But I would also say that I think for the first time in a long time, the Steelers actually have a quality coaching staff. They have young.
What makes you say that?
I just think they have some younger guys that are more up to speed with the game and how the game has unfolded and changed, whether that's Arth at quarterback coach or the guy, the wide receivers, Zazini.
You know what?
Eziani?
Yeah.
This whole
I had some white claws. But the point is,
is really taking me out of my comfort zone, and it's weirding me out.
wait, what?
Like the last few weeks, Scarps being really enthusiastic and optimistic about the team is really weirding me out. It's really
It's
just
controlled.
difficult for me to accept.
Your harshing is flow, man.
I feel like I'm living in a simulation right now.
It's controlled.
the
It's
red pill. Take the red pill.
It's controlled. It's controlled optimism, but it's just like I just
This
feel
dude
that like
is the biggest skeptic in the world, Craig. Biggest
Okay.
skeptic in
Well,
like
listen,
worse
I'm right,
than
I've
me.
been right there with him. I got to be honest.
Worse than
see,
me.
Craig. I
And
knew you should have been talking
I'm
earlier.
bad. I'm really fucking bad. And this dude is worse than me.
That's hard to imagine.
I'm just saying.
I always, Beverly Hills Cop. There's a new sheriff in town. His name is Axel Foley. Like,
That was
Name is
48
Reggie
hours.
Hammond.
Dude.
oh wait,
That was 48
no,
hours.
Yeah.
Name is Reggie
Reggie
Hammond.
Hammond.
48 hours.
Yeah, Reggie Hammond was
Reggie
48
Hammond.
hours.
Reggie Hammond.
With Nick
that
Nolte. I
48
know my
hours too, or
fucking
48
shitty
hours
80s
one?
comedies. Okay,
That was 48 hours. That was the first one.
That was a great movie, by the way.
Yes, it was.
Wait, was the sheriff in town Reggie Hammond or Axel
Yes.
Foley?
Yes.
Reggie Hammond.
No, that's Reggie.
I don't know my 80s comedies. I get them all mixed up.
You ordered a Black Russian, remember?
Don't you mean a white Russian?
Yeah.
God damn, I just went from 48 hours to an Eddie Murphy non-classic, Norbit.
Oh, God.
Wow.
No,
Apologies.
there's going to be a Beverly Hills Cop 4.
I saw that.
Is
He's
there?
got- yes,
Judge
he's got
Reinhold
all-
in it?
even Judge
Netflix.
Reinhold's back.
Oh, my God.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, it's right to Netflix? Straight to
I
Netflix?
think so. Yeah.
Netflix made it. They
Oh,
financed it.
Hey, Happy Gilmore 2 coming.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm not
I'm
gonna
looking-
lie.
Hollywood is
Shut
out
up,
of
Eric.
ideas.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm looking forward to
Confusing-
Happy Gilmore too. I'm fine with that.
Me too.
Mixing 48 hours and Beverly Hills Cop was my worst blunder ever on the show, and
I don't
I'm
know.
okay
Casey's
with
had
that.
some really good ones.
I'm okay
Let's
with
go.
that.
Let's check the film. Let's go back to Atlanta when you read the,
Oh my
the
god!
letter. You read the letter
Bro.
on the air initially for the first time while drunk. Now that was an amazing Casey.
Dude, I
was-
was.
It was so bad, so
was-
bad that it
I
was good.
So
Oh, my
bad that it was
God.
good.
That was the one that I
like-
wrote.
That was the best Casey ever.
Oh
d-
man,
yeah.
I ran to the Circle K in Atlanta in dress shoes, pick up a couple tall boy White Claws, and
When
there
you were
was
already
Oh,
drunk.
boy.
no, yeah, I was already drunk, and then the girl the girl checking out ahead of me had like size 15
Honey?
feet. Yeah,
you get
whatever.
it
She had like
okay?
she had size 15 feet in a 12 shoe. So her toes were dragging on the ground.
Hey, look at this guy. He comes on the show and he's got a service coming. We got to do everything ourselves around here.
Listen, I mean, I didn't want to miss a moment of this entertainment. Somebody could start quoting,
Yeah, no, you're right.
other
That's
movies,
fair.
and I got to correct
That's
them.
fair. I hate that shit too. When I miss a moment, I'm like, God damn it.
I mean, I didn't want to have to, pause my whole thing and get
Nah,
out.
nah. You're right on the spot, buddy.
Amazon order.
Got another Amazon
Oh.
order.
All right. You all heard that.
You better get hooked up on the Asian market, it sounds like tonight, buddy. You have to make up for those
Ooh, I
purchases.
got to check where they opened. Let's see the Japanese futures.
Oh shit. Ian, do you make anything of Najee Harris not talking to the media this week?
I think the Tibetan monks would be proud of his silence. I don't know. No, I don't care.
I know you don't care, but he's a guy that pretty much had always talked to the
He
media.
loved talking to the media.
He did.
Now he
yeah.
doesn't. So
And I understand from the Steelers' perspective where they're coming from on not giving him the 5th-year option.
Yeah.
It's really like they don't know how he's going to perform in Arthur Smith's offense, where they're going to run the ball, as Ryan pointed out on our Slack chat today. They're going to run the ball 750 times this year, and I'll just add that when Najee averages 3 yards a carry and Jalen Warren averages 6 yards a carry, Steelers Twitter will still be like, he didn't get a fair shot, even though he got 300
fairness.
carries.
In fairness, Najee averaged over 4 yards a carry last season.
Okay. All
it
right.
was a better year. Absolutely.
1 year. 1 year.
Or-
And it was because of those last 3 games.
Yeah.
I
The
just-
only thing that Najee does better than Jalen Warren is doesn't fumble, which is important, but Warren is a better receiver, a more explosive back, and better in pass pro than Najee
Mhm.
is. So
I
not-
will make
it's
the
not
case
dynamic.
that Warren is the best in blitz pickup in the NFL. I think.
Ooh.
I mean, is there anybody better? Seriously. That
I
dude,
think he's very good. I'm not going to get into who he's better or worse than. I think he's just really good at it.
do you know anybody who's better? I mean, I can't name
I'd have to
anybody.
go through each team and think, but I
Right.
mean, nothing stands out like, oh my God, he's the, best pass blow blocker.
That dude is sick in blitz pickup, and
He is
then
literally
he
so good at
slides
pass pro,
out.
he got sued for it.
Yeah,
Or got fined for it.
Yeah,
He's
you're right, Ian.
He can pick up a blitz, block two guys, slide out, and catch a pass and go. It's like,
problem is you
what
found
the fuck?
the problem
Go ahead.
is you found a better running back and pass protection running back in rookie free agency than in the first round.
First round.
That's the
Here
that's
we go.
the problem.
Ryan's still pissed about this. Actually, so
But,
was I. So it's fine.
It happens sometimes. Tony Pollard was better than Zeke Elliott the last 2 years, and Dallas kept playing Zeke. Like sometimes you just gotta.
I get
it. Sometimes you just gotta cut your losses. Like to use a poker
Zeke's
term,
back in Dallas.
you're not necessarily
and
pot
Pollard's
committed
gone.
on Najee, right? It's
Yeah.
Pollard became the man, and then he wasn't the man, right?
He wasn't-
Exactly.
that's
Well,
true.
well, I mean, they
That's a good point,
ran
Craig.
ran his wheels off. But Zeke's back in Dallas. He's built like a nose tackle, but it's fine. Fine.
Yeah.
I just Najee's he's just not dynamic. There's nothing he does that is exceptional. So it's hard, it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and
Like he does a bunch of stuff like pretty good,
Well,
right?
right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, he's okay, but he's not. He's never going to break you that 60-yard run, that we see Warren take it to the house. Once he breaks containment, Warren, he's going to be tough to tackle. Najee, they're going to catch him. He's not. He's not Derrick Henry. He's just not. He just doesn't have that gear, and he's just. I don't know. He just doesn't.
And I think unfairly
Najee-
he gets compared to Derrick Henry because they both went to Alabama, and
Right.
I think it's unfair to him because
Is
Derrick
it?
Henry is a stud.
He's not even as good.
I don't know
as
if it is
Josh-
fair. I don't
He's
know if
not
it is
even as good
unfair.
as Josh Jacobs.
But
he's
he's supposed
a-
to be a stud.
But
He was
he's
a first
a
round
first
pick.
round pick, right? Exactly. And he was
Right.
an absolute. He was an absolute stud at Alabama. Listen, Najee's lost. Everybody says he looks like he's about 220. So they're saying he's lost 20
He said he's
pounds.
down 15 to 20 pounds.
But he says he's between 225 and 230. He played last year at 242. So the dude is
That's too
finally
high.
he's taking Le'Veon Bell's advice and getting lighter. And I wonder
yeah.
what that's going to do for him in this offense, because he needs to be a guy, if he wants to play in this offense, he needs to be a guy who can run outside the tackles,
Yes.
which he has not been doing
Nope.
the last 2 years effectively.
And when he tries, he dances and he gets 3-yard losses.
Well, and there wasn't much flexibility built into Canada's offense. Like you could and Ian's pointed this out a bunch of times. You're watching the tape and you're going, he hesitates, like he's like, but the hole's over there, but I'm supposed to go here, so I'm going to follow what my coaches told me to do, and I'm going to go to the hole they told me to go to, but the hole's over there. What do I do here?
Does Arthur Smith's scheme allow for a little more flexibility?
Yeah,
that way?
it's zone blocking scheme, dude.
Right.
ZBS is basically, we're going to open a hole for you. You're not really going to know what it is until you get there. It's going to be over here someplace. Outside zone blocking.
Yeah.
He had a third of his rushing yards on the season in the final 3 games last year.
Yep.
He had a half of his touchdown production in the final 3 games last year. And he is he has a new offensive coordinator that is going to
And a better offensive line.
he has an offensive coordinator now that's going to fucking have 37 people run the ball this year. He is not in the best spot. He's not. And I don't care how much weight he loses. There's a reason why I think there's a reason why they didn't pick up his fifth year option.
I think he's okay. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option because they're not sure who RB1 is going to be next year because of the scheme and the change. And I get that. I understand it. And it makes things awkward. They got this guy who's, got another year at a high salary, blah, blah, blah.
How much was this 5th-year option?
Would have been
7 million?
0.7, I think.
6.7.
Yeah.
6.7. Wasn't a lot of money, but it's guaranteed as soon as they execute it, right?
I'm on the record. I thought they should have given it to him, but that doesn't mean
I
I'm
agree
right.
with you. They should have.
Yeah.
But I thought they should have given it to him to show the rest of the team, the locker room, hey, we take care of our guys when they do the right things. When they step up and do all the right things, we take care of them. They didn't do that here because I'm telling you, they're not sure that he's going to be running back 1 this year. They're not sure. And if Jaylen Warren passes him up on the depth chart and he's got another year on his contract at a high salary, it makes things awkward, not just for Najee, but for Jaylen and for other guys and for the offensive line, because there'll be lots of questions and it just becomes a distraction. And they're like, we like this guy. He hasn't done anything wrong. There's just somebody in the team who might fit what we do right now better.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I'm telling you right now, his biggest mistake was last year when they were going through that shitty stretch. He talked about a lack of order and structure and rules.
Was he wrong?
You keep it in the family. You keep it
Was
in
he
the
wrong?
family.
He wasn't wrong, but I'm telling you, Steelers brass fucking heard that and they fucking made notice of that. I'm telling you right now.
I believe that.
Hey, listen, I understand what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you. But basically what I was told today was nobody's mad at him. They're just not sure who running back 1 is going to be next year.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, this being the case, why make things awkward later? Let's just go ahead and see how it plays out this year and go from there.
And Ian has pointed this out too before that he was part of that big Zoom call with, I think Derrick Henry
The running
was
back
on there.
salary.
The running back
blah,
that
blah,
were trying
blah.
to get the money. And
You know what?
Yep.
It's really sad that the running back position has been devalued, but it has. It is what it is.
It's a different world. It's a different game than it was years ago when guys were getting tons of yards and touches and touchdowns, and it's just a different game.
If this was
it's a
1986,
fungible
Najee
position.
would be a
Dude.
Hall of Fame back. Oh, sorry.
It's a fungible position.
Yeah.
Running back is a fungible position. You can take a mid-round guy, put him behind a good offensive line, and he will get a lot of yards for you.
Yeah.
Denver did it for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did it for years with the zone blocking schemes. I
A
mean,
lot of teams have done it.
I mean, there were so
A
many.
lot of
guys
teams have done it for years.
Yeah,
It's true. It's true. Yeah. All right. Is Casey Kasem prepared? We've gone about 3 weeks without him, and
Oh, boy.
Oh yeah, Casey.
I think the audience is screaming for some Casey.
Oh boy. Yeah, we could do this.
40 Casey Kasem.
Oh
This is Casey Kasem,
ready?
Craig, from the grave. I'm telling you right now.
Oh,
you're
I
gonna
love
be
Casey
amazed.
Kasem with the long distance dedications. And everything.
Here we go.
This is amazing. Casey is coast to coast, American Top 40. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the week that was May 23rd, 1981. Our favorite correspondent, Ryan, has been away for a few weeks, but he's back with us again, and he writes, Dear Casey, guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys that had been away haven't changed, hadn't much to say. But, man, I still think them cats are crazy. Casey, that's, of course, Thin Lizzy with The Boys Are Back in Town. How Thin Lizzy isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a mystery to me. It's almost as puzzling as why the Steelers drafted Kenny Pickett 20th overall in the 2022 NFL Draft. Casey, what did I miss while I was away? Oh, yeah. Kenny Pickett is going to have a similar story as Terry Bradshaw. I don't get that comparison at all. You see, Terry Bradshaw actually had talent. He was also a 2-time Super Bowl MVP and the 1978 NFL MVP. But most importantly, the last time I checked, Benny Cunningham wasn't nailing Mrs. Bradshaw, which forced Terry to sleep on Joe Gilliam's couch.
Oh, what a
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Casey? Casey, I know I pledged to stop talking about Kenny Pickett, but day in, day out, week in, week out, the Picketologists just keep giving me material. What else happened this week? Oh, yeah, the Steelers kicked off their organized team activities. I've confirmed that nobody drank the fruit punch that Russell Wilson provided, but everyone did drink the milk cartons handed out by Justin Fields that had Cam Heyward's picture on them. Cam Heyward is like John Cena. Nobody's seen him. Aaron, that one's for you. I'm just kidding, Cam. I don't need you to come after me on the platform formerly known as Twitter. I already had that with Antonio Brown. But, Casey, I guess I came out the winner in that scenario, since I now have more money than Antonio Brown. The Steelers practicing in some capacity is glorious. Just when I thought things couldn't get any better, the NFL announced that Pittsburgh will host the 2026 NFL Draft. Casey, when I heard this news, I was more excited than a lady with 7 cats who had just won a $50 gift card to Joanne Fabrics. Casey, I have no idea how they'll pull this off, but I'll be disappointed if at least 1,000 Yinzers don't fall into one of the 3 rivers. Damn it, I had it. I broke. Damn it. Casey?
Oh, God.
Casey, will I be there for the 2026 NFL Draft? You better, you bet. Well, Ryan, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. Staying at number 18 this week, here's The Who with You Better, You Bet.
What a return. Oh, my God.
I was not ready for that.
That hurt.
Not ready for that at all.
That actually hurt.
Oh,
I
man,
mean,
Ryan.
the Benny Cunningham, I mean,
That
really?
was amazing. That was amazing. Was Benny Cunningham banging JoJo Starbuck?
For sure. Yeah, that happened. Maybe not, but allegedly.
Oh, my God.
my God.
I hate
that's
myself
why you
that I
tuned
went
into
to
the
that
show,
place, but I had to.
That was fantastic.
Do you notice that the number of people that start watching the show, it goes up right towards the end? They're all here just to hear Casey Kasem. I guarantee.
That is
Oh, my
fantastic.
God.
I love
Get
Casey
outta here.
Kasem,
Oh
but
my
you
God.
definitely put a new twist.
It is the off season. We are so grateful that everybody is here to listen, to watch, to laugh.
Thanks,
with us,
guys.
To get
All
some
of you.
insight.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, my friend Craig, our friend Craig. Thanks for jumping on tonight with us, buddy. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
And
Love
you
all the
bet,
guys.
man. You bet. And make sure you check out the website, stillcityblitz.com. And we're all over the socials. You'll find us there too. I'm just keep laughing here.
The social
anyway.
media.
Yeah. Have a great night, everybody.
We're all the grams.
All the grams, the face snaps, all that stuff. Yeah.
Anyway. Snap face.
Snap
We're in
face,
all of those.
Snap face.
vid
yeah.
dubs, tick blocks. We're all
Tick
good.
blocks. I like that. Anyway, have a great night. And hey, go Steelers.
Ravens
Thanks, guys.
suck.
Fuck the Browns.
Goddamn right.